Hi. Gay is not sin, and Jesus isn't asking the gay person to change and be straight. We're living in the last days, people. Things can change on a daily basis. Jesus won't return tonight or tomorrow night or the next few years. No matter how much your pastor or anybody tries to tell you everything's ready, he could come tonight. He's not going to. You're going to have to experience 3.5 years of the tribulation. That's 1,260 days. Minimum. That's your minimum time in the tribulation period. I think that there's about another 75 days that will be added onto that period, where if the Lord doesn't cut it short, all you will perish. But for the sake of you, God will cut those last 75 days short. You'll probably go through a lot of those 75 days. I think that at the end of 1,260 days, from the start of the trib, there's going to be the implication of the mark of the beast, practically to the day, because that's when Antichrist is going to stand there in the temple that will be built probably right next to the Dome of the Rock. They'll be side by side. That's the kind of the thought that's going along. There's negotiations to make this happen. Once that's built, then Antichrist is going to step in there and he's going to declare himself God, and he's going to do a number of things. Because that temple was built, Israel was sacrificing animals again and everything. So one of the things he does that day, on the 1260th day, is the first thing he does is he killed the two witnesses. It took him 30 days to kill them. Now, he might be known a little bit before that, because he'll probably be making some peace agreements and some other stuff before that we really particularly know that he's Antichrist. But he will declare it on that middle of the trib day. The Bible tells us that Satan, through his Antichrist, has 1,290 days. Well, it certainly can't start at the beginning, can it? Because when you start at the beginning, then who's going to be around in the world to fight Jesus when he returns or something? Well, it's got to be Antichrist. Antichrist is not thrown into the well, he's thrown in the lake of fire, and Satan put in the pit, chained up, put in the pit on that last day of the trib. So we know that we could go 1,290 days backwards towards the beginning of the trib, and we come to a point that the two witnesses, which start at the first of the trib, going 1,260 days, hit right there and meet Antichrist 30 days before they're dead. And so Antichrist actually comes to power, or is being given the authority to be dictator of the world 30 days before he announces that he is God in the temple. During that 30 days, he is going to try to kill the two witnesses and succeed on the 1,260th day of the two witnesses' ministry. Then he's going to say he's God. He's going to say, now, Israel, you don't need to sacrifice animals anymore. I'm here. So no point. Other people have other reasons why, he stops animal sacrifices, but it's all about God. So he's God now, he says, and so don't do this kind of stuff, because here I am. You don't need to do it. Here I am. And, by the way, you got to have the mark now. So everybody in the world needs the mark. If Christians take the mark, they can't go to heaven. And they can't ever go to heaven, because they will be eternally in that lake of fire. So if you're a Christian and you decide to take the mark, that means you made a choice not to be a Christian. It is your choice to choose not to be a Christian. Jesus won't forsake you. He'll do everything he can to keep you. He's got an army out there ready to come in there and try to witness back to you to come on back. But some of you, bunches of you, are not going to come back. You're going to turn your back on Jesus. So then you got this period of 75 days. You know, everybody wants to say, well, you can't ever know the hour. You can know up to about 75 days. Once certain events happen, you can say, well, you got to get through that 1260 days. Now there's only 75 days left. Why? Because there's numbers in the Bible that tells you that there's this many days. And you used 1260 of them up. So just think about it. If you can't buy food for 75 days, and you're going to run out of resources during that 75 days, aren't you? And so what's going to happen? You got to starve or take the mark. Well, you're not going to take the mark, so you're going to starve, and then there'll be nobody for the rapture. So God will cut that time short. Now he kills, the Antichrist kills the two witnesses. Most of you will want Antichrist to kill him, and that's part of the reason that you finally approved him to be dictator of the world. And you're not going to be thinking that he's Antichrist or something. You're just going to be thinking that life is going on as normal. We need someone to get rid of these people. Why not Antichrist? You might start to wonder, you know, wait a minute, he's president of the world? How do you get to be president of the world? But anyway, but you're going to be glad that they killed the two witnesses, because you don't like the two witnesses. They're going to try to straighten your act together. You've been doing everything for 2,000 years, you've been persecuting the innocent. And so those days will be cut short. But during these first days of the tribulation, there's something called the Four Horsemen. Now there's the white horse, the black horse, the red horse, and actually the green horse, not pale. The Greek word for that is actually green. Now, the black horse is capitalism. The white horse is Catholicism. The red horse is communism or socialism. And the green horse is Islamism. These are religious beliefs. Now, these four horsemen represent several things. The Bible is really good at using stories on top of stories, intermixed, that could have several meanings. And all of them will be true. And all of them even prophetic. Well, in the belief structures of the world, you have these four systems. And they are all operating at this time. So, these belief systems is something we usually call them by other things, you know, the pale horse, death, and all this kind of stuff. Well, pale horse means this kind of thing, but it also means Islam. So, hey, if you're a Muslim, come on. Don't just lock yourself into something. Figure it out. Look at the stuff that's happening. Figure it out. Come to Christ, as in the Bible, King James Bible. If you stick to your book, the Quran, if you stick to your beliefs of your leaders, and if you stick to this idea of Islam, you're going to be just like all the rest of the world. Jesus loves you. Come on now. Maybe we're crazy. Maybe we don't know how to reach out to you. Maybe we're crazy and sound like we're condemning you all or whatever as Christian. Sorry, that's not actually the intention. The intention is trying to reach out to you, just like any religion's trying to reach out. You're trying to reach out to Christians to get them to become Islam. So Christianity's trying to reach out to you to get you to become Christian. Come on now, people. Muslim, you're the green horse. Figure it out. Thanks for watching.